Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Conscious Cruiser. We are your hosts, Alisa from Alisa's Adventures in Cruising, Scott from Controversial Cruising, and I'm Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. We are the award-winning podcast from the Meet and Eye Awards. That's right, the Conscious Cruiser. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Today, we're going to be telling you some great, fantastic, know before you go ways to relaxing on your cruise. And we're going to get after it right after this.
Welcome into the Conscious Cruiser podcast, the know before you go approach to cruising and travel. The smartest cruiser is the Conscious Cruiser. And your conscious casters, Alisa, Chet, and Scott.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Again, whether you're coming to us from YouTube on the Conscious Cruiser channel or on Spotify, where you can find us every Monday morning at 8:30 Eastern Time, come on and join us for some more Know Before You Go tips on all kinds of stuff. Guys, are y'all ready to get it going this morning?
I am.
I am. I was kind of like wanting to sway to the music some more. I couldn't really hear it very well this time.
I know it's been a while. It's been a little break. There was a little hiatus. One of us was cruising, or two of us were cruising. So we are back. But yeah, as Chet alluded to in the beginning, we all have our wonderful Meet and Eye Award 2025 shirts on, and we do have our 2025 Best Podcast Meet and Eye Award trophies in hand. So thank you very much, Meet and Eye. We hope that we can two-peat, three-peat, and go on and go forth. But if you have not checked out Meet and Eye, please go over and check out Meet and Eye. They put their heart and soul into this award-winning award ceremony every single year, and it is such a great honor to hoist this trophy and to be with my two wonderful co-hosts and do this amazing podcast that we have had to be award-winning in just one season. So thank you everyone. Thank you, Meet and Eye, and thank you to everybody who has nominated us and made this possible. So and thank you to my two co-hosts too as well.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who voted for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I really like the shirt. I plan on us winning it for the next 10 or 70 years so we can continue to add to our wardrobe these great looking shirts. Yeah, and of course the trophies.
And of course.
But hey, today we got a great topic, I think. Keys to relaxing on your cruise. And, depends on if you want to relax on your cruise or not. But if you do want to relax, I think we got some good tips for you today. And of course, we're going to kick off the first question over to Alisa because it's ladies first here at the Conscious Cruiser. Alisa, what are some things you do at home before the cruise to help ensure that you can be relaxed on your cruise?
Well, we talk about this a lot and there's always lots of suggestions about what to pack, when to pack. I mean, I just feel like, and maybe I'm just not a last minute packer. Like the more time and attention you spend on what you're actually going to take on board, so you don't feel like you've forgotten anything. You have what you need, what you prefer. If there's that certain shampoo you cannot live without, make sure you have it in your suitcase, because as Chet likes to say, there are no stores on the water. So like you need to have it with you. And if you're already, amped up about not having something that you really, really wanted or needed on the ship, it's hard to come down from that.
That's a great point. Really good point.
I didn't even have that on my list. Scott, let's see if you got something else not on my list.
Well, I have been known to be the last minute packer. However, since forgetting my hat in Alaska and Alisa letting me know and giving me that wonderful reminder, I have actually been like a month before packer, except for this last cruise because I just booked that a week before. But other than that, the last couple cruises I've actually packed within a decent amount of time. But what I will say, I think the one thing that helps me relax the most on a cruise, and this is kind of getting into those thinking of future habits, right? I
Mhm.
know that I like to come home to a nice clean house. So the
Oh,
one thing that I'm going to do is make sure my sheets are all clean. I'm going to make sure that the sink and the kitchen is all clean. I'm going to make
Mhm.
sure that the carpets are all vacuumed because I want to come home with my suitcase and everything and just start to unload, but I want to load in a clean environment. Nothing like coming home to a mess and then already starting to be stressed from just coming home from vacation, right? So the way that I know that I can relax on my cruise is knowing that I can come home to a nice clean house. And I do it every single time. I take about 1 to 2 days beforehand and I'll put everything on a list. I got to clean the bathroom today. I got to do this today. I got to do laundry today. I got to, and then as I'm leaving, the hours up until leaving,
Mhm.
make
You're
sure
getting the
everything's
house ready.
all done. And that's it. That's really how I know, and that I've really can that I really know how to relax on a cruise. Because otherwise, my
Yeah.
mind is like, I'm going to go back to clutter, and nobody wants to go back to clutter, right?
yeah, that's a great point too. A lot of people will overlook both of these things. In fact, I always make a list when we're doing these shows. I didn't have either one of those on my list, even
We
though
learn
we
something
do.
new every time.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of do that, but I didn't even give it a conscious thought. Conscious cruisers, how about that? That's why we're here. I'll tell you one thing I did write down though, out of the things I did was we like to prepay and budget all of our
Mhm.
stuff on our cruise. We make sure not only, of course, is the cruise paid, obviously, but the gratuities are paid. Our
Mhm.
shore excursions are going to be paid for, drink packages, Wi-Fi, whatever we're going to get on the cruise. Prepay all that, and then we like to know what we're going to do with our onboard credit before we get on there. Okay, we're going to use that for the spa, and then how much more do
Mhm.
we have to budget in extra to do what we're going to do, and how much extra to carry for cash tips. And we want to have all the money dealt with before we get on the ship. We want to go, oh man, oh gosh, are we going to be able to afford the Wi-Fi? How much is that? And well,
Yeah.
what if we get two drinks today? How much is that going to cost? And then
Yeah.
who wants to worry about all that? To me, that's a stressful environment. I want to just go, it's paid for. I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing this and that. It's all paid for. Yay! Or yay, we got the budget in here. We got the onboard credit for it. We got the cash over here. I like having all that settled and resolved before we get on the ship.
I agree.
I think that's a great one, Chet, because you want to know that you step on board, and yeah, when they ask for that sale and sign card, no problem.
There
you,
you go.
you know what I mean? Like, exactly. You feel like you got a little extra because I know this is covered.
And I told Robin from Sea Lake Journeys, hey, we're going to do the spa day today. We're going to go get a massage. She's like, oh, I said, don't worry. It's all budgeted in. She's like,
All part of the plan.
yeah.
All part of the plan.
Budget
Oh,
rub, baby, budget rubs.
budget rub, the budget rub. Yeah, of course I can give her the budget rub at home. It just ain't the same. Scott
But
almost spit out his coffee for everybody on Spotify.
Yeah.
But how about this? In your opinion, are there some cruises that are more relaxing than other cruises, and why? Why is that? Scott, we're going to kick it on to you first. This sounds like a tough one. Are some cruises more relaxing, and if so, why?
I'm gonna go to the age-old question: is how long is it? How long is
Uh
it?
huh.
Mhm.
The longer the cruise, the more relaxing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's multiple reasons for that. But the one
Yeah.
reason, if you're going to go on a 14-day journeys cruise to Alaska or Denmark or Norway or
Mm-hmm.
any one of those places, right? Hawaii, you're going to get an older crowd, right? Because honestly, people that are retired, people that have saved up, people that are on a bucket list cruise, those people are going to be on those cruises. You're not going to see the first time. I mean, you may, but you're not going to see the first time 25, 21-year-old cruiser on a 14-day cruise. I mean, you'll see one or two of them, but it's not going to make up the population. The population is going to be people that just want to relax and take in Hawaii, right? Same thing for a 7-day cruise, right? You're going to look at a 7-day cruise and families are going to start to invest in that, right? You have a family of 4. they're not going to look at a shorter cruise. They're going to look at a 5 to a 7 day cruise, right? Because you're going to have to save up. It's going to be their one vacation for the year because it costs a lot for 4 people to travel, do the hotel thing, do the cruise thing, do the mommy, I want bubbles package. I want arcade money. It costs a lot of money, right? I don't even got kids and I'm stressed out already. Like right? That's a lot of money.
Okay,
right?
Scott.
And you're just not going to do it for a 3-day cruise. So the 5 to 7, it will be a little bit more relaxed. And then your 3 and 4 day are going to be not relaxed. That's going to be the people that are like, hey, I need to get away. It's a short weekend. I haven't had booze in a long time. I gotta blow off some steam. Let's go. I got 72 hours and we're chugga, choo choo. I might not even eat. It's just going to be liquid diet and bad decisions. Okay. Or good decisions, bad decisions, whatever you want to say. Okay. So that's going to be less relaxing. Not saying that the bad decisions are good, blame it on the alcohol, maybe, whatever you want to do. But I'm just saying the shorter cruises are going to be not your relaxing cruises. You're not going to want to relax on those cruises.
Good point.
I don't know if you don't want to relax, but you also don't want to miss anything. At least I don't. I want to go and see as much as I can of the ship, especially if it's a new ship, which I just did with Wonder of the Seas. I wanted to see as much as possible, even though it was a weekend. So in going to the cruise, I thought I would have more relaxed time, but then I thought to myself, self. You're only here for the weekend, and your friends are here because it was a group cruise. So, yeah, there was not a lot of relaxing. What I was gonna say, I guess, then is it depends on who you are cruising with, and if everybody else is kind of in the chill mode, or if you can just, you can go it alone. You can be chill by yourself if you want to. But in the group setting where everybody is coming from near and far away to be together and hang out and do all these activities, you want to do all the activities and go and hang out and catch up and all of that. So a weekend group cruise, super fun, maybe not the most relaxing, just saying.
You guys nailed it, I think. That's been my experience over the course of 40 some odd cruises over 22 years. What I would add to that is a destination. I think destination has a little bit to do with it. Alaska cruise, we've done 2 of them, and they have been way more calmer than the Caribbean cruises. Caribbean cruises are typically a little more, hey, we want to do the conga line, and hey, we want to do this. And so I think itinerary can play a little bit into that as well, which once again, usually that's a length because Alaska cruises are 7 days or more. Correct. So I think you guys were onto that too. And of course, cruise line, I know we're all going to say this one. If we all said a second one, I think we would be unanimous in cruise line matters too. You're going to have a way more energetic atmosphere on Carnival than you are on Celebrity or Princess or Holland America. You just are. Right. It's just because they're the fun ships, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go, you got rock climbing walls and water slides and all that stuff on Norwegian and Royal Caribbean and Carnival for a reason. And, Celebrity, Holland American, Princess don't have the water slides and rock climbing walls for a reason. It's because of the atmosphere, the vibe you're going to get with those different cruise lines as well.
They market it that way, they put themselves out there and then they say they're the fun ship, right? The Royals, the weekend getaway, the weekend cruise, or the weekend forgetaway, or whatever they call it, right? That they market themselves like that. And you don't see Princess doing that. You don't see like, hey, come on, Princess. You see somebody go, oh, down the water slide. It's like, hey, come on, Princess. And then you see like 2 people like out looking on out of Alaska, like,
watching the sunset with a glass of champagne in their hand, right? Totally different, totally different atmosphere. So you got to decide if you want to relax, guys. We're giving you some tips here. Be sure you pick the right cruise line that's going to help you do that. Because listen, we're going on an 8-day cruise here pretty soon in April on Carnival. It's 8 days. It's longer. It'll be more relaxing than a 3 or 4-day cruise. Maybe not. Because it's Carnival. I'm thinking we're going to be doing conga lines and all that kind of stuff, limbos and things like that for 8 days. Of course, we'll be passed out in between doing those things, but
stay off those poles, Chet.
No, not a chance. There's actually a pole in my cabin. I can't wait to show you guys that.
We've talked about this before about whether or not the cruise director kind of matters, when you go on these ships. And
Mm.
I to some extent they do. You may not know it until you get on board on how interactive they are, how much they are able to get the draw the crowd in and keep them entertained. And so you go to one show or one activity, and then they tell you what's coming up next, and you're like, that was fun, let me go on over, follow them on over to the Lido deck or to the whatever theater or whatever. So just kind of be open, I would say, as to what's going on and how that experience can change once you are on board.
That's absolutely 100% true. Because most cruises, I can't tell you that there was even a cruise director on the ship. But other ones, like the Flying Scotsman and Donkey, you can't
Hmm.
ignore them. They're there. They're in your face. They're going to bring you to the party.
Yep.
They do
Kendall
make a difference.
Fires, the Kendall Fires, the
Yeah.
ladies of the world. And I really kind of experienced this on the last cruise that I was just on the Carnival Mardi Gras with Jackie Tang.
Mhm.
I had heard a bunch about him. I've seen him. I know he came over from Royal a couple years ago, and now he's on, obviously, with Carnival. Uh,
Hmm.
and to be honest with you, I thought he was more like Kendall. And this is, I'm not talking down about anybody, or
Right.
I liked him for him, but he was actually more laid back than I had thought he would be. I thought
Hmm.
he was more like the Kendall Fire, like, hey, let's lead everybody to the party. He's at the
Yeah.
party, don't get me wrong, and he's energetic and he's doing it right, but you don't see him around as much as Kendall does. You hear him and things like that, but I thought he would be much more like, kind of like me, like bah, 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 right? He's actually
Hmm.
much more kind of soft spoken, and he knows how to command a crowd. And he's a different type of cruise director than I thought he would be. And to that, honestly, to tell you the truth, that actually helped me relax more because of his style of the way that his announcements were, like, not saying anything
Hmm.
about Kendall, but Kendall's like me. She's good. Like, when she's doing announcements, you feel like, okay, I got to get up now. I got to get up,
That's true.
where Jackie's he's just a little bit more like relaxed. He gives that vibe. Like, I think the Carnival Entertainment, when they're filming him, I think they get his most energetic moments. But when he's on the mic, he's actually very soft spoken, and his accent, really, obviously, people really like that. But he's very soft spoken, so that kind of helped me relax. And I didn't realize that I really was, because everybody was like, oh, if you were a cruise director, Jackie Chang would be like your cruise
Envy.
brother. But like, I think we'd kind of be opposites. I think I'd be like the Kendall Fire brother, to tell you the truth. So, but Jackie Tang, he was awesome. It was just, I really think that I really realized that this cruise, when Alisa said that about the cruise directors, you don't really realize sometimes when you're not on Carnival that these cruise directors really, they can impact a cruise, and the way
Hmm.
that the cruise takes on either this, energetic and party feel, or more of like, hey, like, relax, like, let's just relax away, like, just kind of the vibe of the cruise director and
Yeah.
the on squad and the people around.
Bonus tip on relaxing, most relaxing cruises we've ever been on. We've been on two of them with Virgin Voyages. It's adults only.
Mm.
You don't get a more relaxed vibe than they got. From the time you step into the terminal to the time you get off that ship. Ask Bill. Bill knows now.
Really?
He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Vicky, a few others that've been on Virgin more, some only once, some more than once. That the most relaxing cruises, period. It's
Yeah.
Virgin. But anyway, I digress because it's time to go to our sponsor now. And we've got a great sponsor here today, don't we, Scott?
We do. Don't worry. I'm already sitting there, Chad. I beat you.
And this week's episode of The Conscious Cruiser is sponsored and supported by Alisa's Adventures in Cruising and the Monday Mood Check. Check out the Monday Mood Check every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. For some exciting cruise talk, munch pack reviews, and even some home cooking. So start of your week right every week with Alisa and the Monday Mood Check. Don't miss it. And now back to the Conscious Cast.
Well, them cookies done it to me again, Alisa.
I got one right off the screen.
Oh, that's wrong, Scott.
Oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Well, yes, you are more than welcome. I'm not promising warm cookies tonight, but I'd be happy to see you and anybody else who wants to come on in for the mood check.
Well, hey, let's take it to our next question here. What is something you do to relax on your cruise, Lisa? What's something that you do when you get on a cruise to
Well,
relax?
this is something that I don't do every cruise because I don't always get a balcony cabin. But this last one, we did have a balcony, and I sat out there on it and I watched the water and I watched the waves, and it was relaxing. It was kind of funny though, because not funny, haha, funny, ironic, because I ended up having more time to do that because we had an unexpected sea day due to rough weather. But that few minutes that I got to just sit out on the balcony and just kind of like, oh, you forget. You forget.
I love that.
Really enjoyed the balcony.
That's a great tip right there. Scott, what do you got to add to that? What do you do to help you relax on a cruise?
Well, mine's going to be controversial. I know there's
Uh-oh.
going to be 50% of people
Hold
that are
on.
with me and 50% of people that are coming for me in the chat. Okay.
Uh-oh, we're preparing ourselves.
So the one thing that really makes me relax on a cruise is when I can get into my cabin and I can unpack. Okay. When I can put everything where it needs to be, I can put my toiletry bag. I don't have to unpack fully. Okay. But I need to put my toiletry bag in the bathroom. I need to put all my undergarments in a drawer. See how I stopped myself there. Okay. Undergarments in a drawer. I need to hang up most of the things that need to be hung up. Fold my pants and put them in a drawer so I'm not going crazy. And then put everything kind of where my snacks. I always bring some snacks. So I put over the snacks over by the bar and everything. I just need to look and go, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Like that makes me feel like I'm on. And then this is me pushing the suitcase under the bed, right?
Yeah.
Right. See you in 7 days, or see you when I have some wet clothes. Oof, put it under the suitcase. I push it under the bed. That's what makes me finally feel like I'm on vacation. And then taking the selfie with the luggage mat that they put on your bed that says choose fun, and then you put it over yourself and you look naked. Yeah, if you haven't done that, try it. Okay. That is what
that.
me
Comment below if that's just Scott.
No, it's not.
It's
right
not?
here. We unpack immediately too, Scott, because it just does. It does pull that last thread of.
Yeah, it does.
It
does.
Well, you got.
No, I meant the mat. Is everybody taking pictures with the mat?
Yeah. You got to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I've got it for thumbnails on my shows.
Yeah.
A couple of videos I've taken the mat.
Okay.
But hey, you know what else I do too? If you're going to go do the spa, y'all, the day to do it is embarkation day. It's the most relaxing time to do it. We've tried it on different days throughout different cruises. Some cruises we don't do it at all, of course, because of, ching ching. But if we can afford it, embarkation day in the spa, get a massage, even if it's just a 50-minute Swedish massage, and do it on embarkation day. What a way to kick off your cruise if you want to relax. We came out like jello when we did that. And I haven't told Robin from Sea Lake Journeys yet. So until she watches this episode, I'm going to book a massage on our embarkation day on our ABC group cruise coming up in April.
Nice.
Yeah, because I know how it works. Trust me. If you haven't done it, trust me on that one.
Good. That's a great tip. No, I see how that would really set the tone for the trip. You're relaxed. You got that. Get rid of that knot right away.
Yeah, do what Scott said. Unpack. Get unpacked. Go to the spa.
Yeah, then
and then go sit on your balcony like Elise said. If you're not relaxed after that,
question
do for you. Yeah.
Question. So like the steakhouse on the very first day, if you go there, they give you a free bottle of wine. Yeah. If you go to the spa, do they also give you a free bottle of wine asking for a friend?
No, but you'll save on a couples massage. It's about $40 cheaper than even their lowest price advertised.
Oh, okay. That's even better than a free bottle of wine,
That's what I say. It's enough to pay the gratuity that they add on to the massage. So basically, if you look at the discounted price that day, the cheapest one they advertise, figure that after the tip is added, and there you go. You're paid for.
You're already tipped. Thank you very much, sir.
That's right. I always pay my tips. Always.
Oh,
Hey, we're on to the.
How much? No, just joking.
Doesn't matter. I'm gonna pay. I'm on vacation.
You're on vacation. That's
Question
right.
of the cast: How important is it? How important is relaxing on your cruise? Is it A, very important, B, some important, or C, man, I'm more about partying than relaxing? A, very important, B, some, or C, I'm there for the party. Which one? Which one, Scott? You're the first one on this one. We got to know. How important is relaxing to you? See, I got him choked up.
Question.
Question.
Are we? I mean, I assume, because we're always living in this. Should be living in the present. Are we talking about the present, or are we talking about like 15 years ago?
We're amongst friends, Scott. Whatever you feel like sharing.
Okay, so we're gonna go with. Okay, can we repeat the question?
Yeah. How important is relaxing on your cruise? Is it A, very important, B, somewhat important, or C, I ain't there to relax, I'm there to party?
Okay, all right. I am going to answer from the 37-year-old myself. I think it's very important. To be honest with you, I think now in the stage of where I am, I think going on 1 to 2.5-ish, 3 cruises a year, I think it's very important to be able to relax during the times where you're able to go on a cruise, right? Of course it is by choice. I could do something else. I can go to land. I could just go on a staycation, but I choose to cruise. And I think now, going on these cruises now rather than rushing life, because we're always rushing life, right? The world that we live in, the world that we are, right? We're always rushing, right? I'm going to work, I'm going to do this, I'm going to the store, I got to do this, and everybody's right. Everything is all punctual in our lives, right? You get on a cruise and nothing really has to be punctual. Yes, you put, oh, we want to go to the show or we got to do our pictures here, but you don't really have to. You could just not do it if you want to. You're
That's right.
vacation. No one's going to yell at you, right? They just say, sir, you didn't show up for your pictures. And it's just a funny joke, right? It's okay, right? The world will go on. They're okay. But in life, if you don't show up for that meeting, your boss is going to be like, well, hey, that's the third time in, 90 days. We're going to have a one-to-one. You're like, am I going to get onboard credit? They're like, onboard credit? Like, no, sit down. You're about to get fired. Like, no. So like, we rush our entire life, right?
Yeah.
So on cruises, I think it's just good to not rush. And on that, I know this is alcohol, but listen, people, it's not alcohol, right? I'm going to show you cherries, very expensive cherries, maraschino cherries that go with my new favorite alcoholic drink that have taught me how to slow down on life, and that is old fashioned, right? Because you can't chug old fashions. If you chug an old fashioned, you are some kind of wild beast from I don't even want to mess with you, but I do want you on my team. So if you chug old fashions, please, I want you on my team. But, okay, old fashions are a drink to be sipped, right? To be sipped even over an hour. There's no time limit. It's just you enjoying that drink by the sip. Right. And for me, I hated old fashions because I was normally the tequila chugger. Let me get the drink. Let me get another one. Like Popeye. Right. But with tequila. Now in 37, I'm like, hey, there's 7 days here. I got, maybe seven old fashions. Let's just relax. Here's just one. There's no reason to rush. I'll be back tomorrow. Okay. Back tomorrow. The alchemy bar I'm talking about. Yeah, it's really taught me to kind of appreciate cruising, I would say, rather than cruising appreciate me, right? The whole loyal. Oh, what can the cruise lines do for me? It was like, no, you want to know what? I'm just gonna relax and let me do for the cruise lines. Does that make sense? Yeah.
How about you, Alisa? How important is it to you?
I guess it depends on what is the purpose of this cruise. Is it a weekend getaway or where you just feel like you need to, you need to have some party time? Or is it a weekend away and you feel like you need to relax? I think there's so many options. And like we already talked about, there's so many ships and so many cruise lines. You really have your pick. But
Yeah.
in general, my initial thought is always like, oh, it's a getaway. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna, spend time on the deck. I'm gonna, maybe go to the spa. I'm gonna do all those things. It
Yeah.
just doesn't always happen
Mm.
unless it's prepaid for, like Chet is saying.
Then it happens.
Then it
I think
happens.
I think we're all on the same page on this one. It's such a fast-paced world that we live in. We're rushing, rushing,
Yeah.
rushing, rushing. We got to hurry up and get done today. What we can't do tomorrow, and what we didn't do yesterday, and
Yeah.
constant rush. I think we all, even if we do want to party on the ship, you can still party on the ship. But I think ultimately you got to slow down sometime, and we're a
Yeah.
better place to do it than on a cruise. I think you can slow down for a little bit, relax, and whatever it takes to do that, and then go join the party for an hour, and then
Hmm.
come back and relax again. So I think we're all on the same page on this one. It's very important, I think, for
Make
most people.
make the most of your cruise and vacation, no matter how much time you have
Yeah,
on board.
Agreed. And
exactly.
I know not everybody can do this, but I mean, in the last couple of years, I would say the biggest thing, also kind of like a bonus tip, and this is giving your time, but I really like to give myself that day before, day after. I think the day after, honestly, to tell you the truth, is more important than the day before. Not the day directly before. I want you to get to your cruise. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I've also learned that the day after, so you're not rushing off the ship. One thing that I know Cruise Life TV, Greg and Michelle love to do, they love to go to the dining room for breakfast on the day
Yeah.
when we leave the cruise. And not a lot of people
Disembarkation.
do that. Yeah, on disembarkation day. A lot of people
Yeah.
just go up to Lido, or a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna get breakfast. You want to know what they're like? Hey, we this is the last breakfast, right? And honestly, they're because there's nobody in the dining room. The waiters are relaxed, they're chill. They bring you your meal in 20 minutes. It's hot, it's ready. You get coffee. It's amazing, right? But it also is just like, hey, there's no reason to rush back to life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's just relax. And I've honestly given myself, since I live so far from Florida, I've given myself that extra day. Whereas, 4 or 5 years ago, I was flying in the day of cruises. And I know when I started this channel, a lot of people, right, were coming down on me, flying in the day of cruises all the way from Arizona to Florida, and then flying out the day of
Hmm.
to try to fit in a 5-day cruise. And people are like, what? It was like I was never running to port, thank God. But you want to know what? It's really taught me to in the last 3 years to kind of just slow down and give yourself that extra day. Hey, if the job
Yeah,
is going to fire
Yes.
you, the job's going to fire you. You'll find a way. You'll find a way. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not telling you to get fired from your job, but I'm telling you it's okay. You'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, I already knew I liked that, Greg and Michelle, but I do the same thing. I want to go for that last breakfast, and I do feel like it's included, and the terminal is not going anywhere. Trust me, they're gonna get you off that ship because they have to make way for the next set of passengers coming on. So have a little breakfast first before you go, and maybe a mimosa. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
we always have breakfast before we get off the ship. Always.
Yes.
Yes.
If you hide under the table with the tablecloth, they will find you. Don't worry. Oh, I was just trying to get the no, sir. It's
No.
9:30. It's
No.
all right. Fine. I'm leaving. They will find
Yes.
you. They will. I've tried it. Believe me.
Well, great tips, everybody, here from the Conscious Cruiser cast right here this morning. Tips that are going to help you relax on your next cruise, we hope. And we hope your next cruise is soon. And we hope to see you
Yes.
out there. And if you've been listening on Spotify, thanks for listening. If you joined us here on YouTube, The Conscious Cruiser, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Help us get this channel growing. And we sure appreciate each and every one of you. Join us next week. We're going to talk about stuff that is a burr in your saddle. That's right.
Woo.
Things and habits that other cruisers do to irritate you. So today we got you relaxed. Next week, we're going to wind you up with things that irritate you on your cruise. So on behalf of from Alisa and Lisa's Adventures in Cruising, Scott from Controversial Cruising, and myself, Chet from Sea Lake Journeys, the award-winning Conscious Cruiser is out of here, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys
Bye,
later.
everybody.
And if you
See you
go
at
on
the
and
moon
go
check.
live together, give them a little conscious raid to let them know that we sent you. We'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.
Bye.